basketball head, they call it. So Anthony Davis got a lot of praise there, and deservedly so. Davis in a pretty solid company here. Just the 5th player to score 30 points in each of his first 2 career NBA Finals games. Kevin Durant was the last to do it. That was in 2012 with the Thunder. Jordan the last before him back in 1991. Then you got Rick Barry and Hal Greer way back in 1967.
Well, joining us now here on SportsCenter, Rajon Rondo, the 49th time in his playoff career he's dished out 10 or more assists, goes for 16 and 10 here. Rajon, let me ask you a big picture question first, because coming into this game, you knew that the Heat would be shorthanded. And from a mentality standpoint, as you well know, that's not something you can allow everyone to look at and say, we're going to take a step back because we know they're going to have their squad. How do you guys keep that motivation when you know the other team's going to be so shorthanded?
It starts with our leaders, coming into the game with this mindset, knowing that, 2 of the star players are out. But nevertheless, the team is in the finals. So they didn't get there but just by 2 players, so it takes a team effort. You want to come out and respect those guys on the floor tonight.
I guess another thing you expected was Miami to go to that zone at some point in this game, but it appears as if that you guys were ready for it. I mean, that's good scouting, obviously. What was your approach when you knew that they were going to go to that zone defense?
Let's go with what we worked on. Last 2 days we've been going over how to dissect the zone. Coach did a hell of a job of drawing plays up for us, and we came out and execute the ball.
We just heard from LeBron talking about the Kobe Mamba jerseys you guys are wearing, and clearly, based on what happened, his tragic death in January, been some of a motivation for you guys this season. How do you put into words to the fans watching at home, Rajon, kind of what that spirit from Kobe is doing for you guys in this moment?
Just come out with a killer mindset. He always played every game like it was his last, and putting on that jersey means a lot to everyone in that locker room. So we understand the legacy and what it holds, and we want to go out there and continue to try to build our legacy as a team and for Kobe as well.
Kobe, of course, won 5 championships with the Lakers. You've already won a championship in your career, but you've got a lot of guys on this team that haven't. You've got a 2-0 lead. What will your message be to the younger guys in the squad?
We've got to have a kill set mentality. This team, like I said, obviously at first they're in the finals for no reason. And we want to come out every game and play as hard as we can. And this will be a big game. It's the biggest game of the season, big game of this series, and we can come out and look forward and to attack.
Well, you are 2 wins away from your 2nd NBA championship, and also be the first for Anthony Davis and the first for Frank Vogel. Not bad for a trio of former Wildcats. Rajon, appreciate the time. Go Cats.
No problem.
Kobe got a lot of mention there, and he gets some more here. Lakers are now 20-1 this season when LeBron and AD combined for at least 60 points. According to Elias, do not question Elias. Elias Sports Bureau says that's tied with Shaq and Kobe from the 99-2000 season for the best record by any teammates in NBA hit when combining for at least 60 points, minimum 15 such games.
All right, Tim Legler joins us now here on SportsCenter. And Tim, you've been talking about this Miami Heat zone defense that they displayed a couple games ago and why it was so effective for them at those intervals. And we just heard Rajon Rondo talk about it. What did you see from it tonight in terms of how the Lakers were able to handle it?
Yeah, the Heat had great success against Boston. There's no question that has had a huge factor in them winning that series. But this is a completely different animal. First of all, you've got size and skill that you could put in the middle of this. And I just thought their play construction and making a concerted effort to get the ball to the middle, to get the ball to the short baseline, the 2 areas on the floor that you absolutely have to get it to attack. You see the way they reverse sides of the floor. When you do that, you end up getting 2 guys in the same place at the same time, which you had Hero and Butler do. And as a result, LeBron is able to hit AD on the cut. Here, once again, key place to occupy, middle. Morris gets the ball right at the foul line. You're going to pinch in the wings. Wide open 3 out on the perimeter once again for the Lakers attacking that zone. So I just thought that their approach to it was proper in that they understand if you get the ball into the interior of a zone, you are going to have to react and you're going to force multiple communications. When you do that, you're more likely to create some sort of a mistake. I thought Lakers did a great job of it the entire game. They're clearly ready for it. Miami has had great success using it throughout the season and in the postseason, but this team has too much. They've got too much size and athletic ability in the paint and along the baseline, and then their role players have been knocking down shots. That's the one thing Eric Spoelstra was hoping wouldn't happen, but so far the Lakers role players have been on point with their shooting, and there's just been relentless offensive pressure they've put on this team.
Yeah, and scheme is one thing, but you have Rajon Rondo and LeBron James, two guys with maybe the highest basketball IQ of their generation, executing against that zone. That's a nightmare for an opposing team. There's no question about that. Let me ask you about the fact that AD was able to take advantage of a smaller Heat lineup, especially without Bam Adebayo out there. I mean, granted, he's one of the best players in the league. You give him any type of advantage, he's going to do work, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, he's really their only big-time athlete up front. So you take him off the floor, the zone is going to be even smaller than normal, and it's already 4 wing players basically in Bam Adebayo. And what happens in a zone defense, you don't have a specific guy to block out. So as a result, Anthony Davis, and this is where he really, I thought, just absolutely imposed his dominance on the game. He's getting these running starts from out on the perimeter with smaller players trying to do the best they can to get a body on him. But you can see how he just had 3 consecutive possessions where he completely overwhelmed Miami with his size, his length, and then his touch. And so even when Miami could force the Lakers into taking a 3-point shot with a hand up, Anthony Davis was cleaning up all of those misses because you have smaller bodies trying to get a check on a guy that's moving at them with a high rate of speed. It's just an impossible task for guys like Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, even a guy like Jimmy Butler, giving up that kind of size. You're asking an awful lot. And Anthony Davis, I thought, in that third quarter, made sure that Miami was not going to make a significant run. So too much size, Mike, too much talent. And so far through 2 games, too much shooting. And that's the one thing that Miami thought they had an advantage in this series. But the Lakers have done enough of that to free up all that inside room for Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
I mean, they're down 2-0. You got 2 of the best players in the league on the other side, and you're shorthanded with Miami. If there's any way, Tim, that you could give some Miami Heat fans hope right now that they could win Game 3, what would have to happen in order for that to play out?
Well, I think, first of all, Bam Adebayo has to play. They just don't have enough athletic ability on the front line if he's not on the floor. So that's the first thing. And I don't know if he's going to. There's talk that he might be available on Sunday. Hopefully he will be. And then they're going to go look at their zone. I mean, I pointed out what the Lakers did well, but honestly, this was not the best effort that Miami has had defensively in that zone. I thought they had a ton of communication errors where they ended up with 2 guys on the basketball. That's a cardinal sin when you're playing a zone defense. The whole point is to make sure that you've got the interior sealed off and you've got guys matched up with shooters so you can close out quickly, get a hand up. If you end up with 2 guys on the ball, you're never going to catch up to it. And I thought there were just a number of possessions in this game that Eric Spoelstra can go to the tape and say, this isn't us. This isn't us at our best. Let's clean this up. You get Bam back on Sunday. This team, I think, scored enough tonight to stay confident. They've got to be much better defensively, and that's what Bam Adebayo and some good film work can do. So that's my best pitch for the Miami Heat fan base to get back in this series on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a scary scenario to say the least, considering what we've seen here in the first 2 games. Only thing scarier, Tim Legler's house during Halloween. Appreciate you, brother.
That's it, Mike. You got it.
Michael asked him.
Crashing off some glass, shooting the shots just before me. Minding guys, trying to play more role, play more part in this journey. Once again, I don't like how we played towards the end. We letting this team get back in it. Obviously, they've reached a great team. They're here for a reason. But we got to learn how to play with the lead. We get out too many threes. We letting guys beat us to the paint. Our containment was pretty bad in the second half. But, we'll take the win. Once again, we got to be better. Especially if we want to drive this team away. This team not going to fight. I don't care who it is, who's out there. They're in the finals, so they're going to keep fighting. So we can better.
Yeah, Anthony, it speaks to the focus that you and LeBron have had and trying to instill upon the rest of the teammates. Right, not going to be satisfied, regardless of how much you win by, unless you play to your best effort until you get 4 wins. Is that a fair way to summarize?
Absolutely. We don't look at film. Things that we can still get better at. We had too many, like I said, plays where the containment was bad. Our help side wasn't there. We gave too many backside threes. Our game plan wasn't always to the point, always to the tee. So we're going to look at film. We'll get better. But like I said, we'll take the win. It's tough to get wins, especially in the finals. We're a good team. Especially these 2 guys that they stepped up for. So we got to be better, but we're for sure take the win.
You guys guys were getting some wide open looks inside, outside. What have you figured out about playing against the zone? You, LeBron, and Rondo really seem to find a way to dissect and get those shots going.
We're just making reads. It's all about reading in the zone. We're going to get open looks. The zone makes shoot from the outside, and we're continuing to shoot all the way we shoot. After making shots on the perimeter, it opens up the inside. That's what kind of happened. Guys got hot pretty early in that zone, and they opened up in the paint where offensive rebound, and guys that's in the middle, go Brown, myself, Markeith, and able to get one dribble layup. So we just got to continue to exploit it, find the open man, and open gaps, and continue to make shots.
Last thing for you, AD, as LeBron comes behind you after finishing off his interview, you guys are now undefeated in the jerseys, 4-0. You have one win in each of the rounds. I know that's been the rallying cry this season, try to win it for Kobe. So what was the importance of that continuing tonight in those black jerseys?
Like I said before,